Hi all, welcome back to Guide to Solidworks. Today I thought I'd do a quick tutorial based around sketching techniques. Now, when we're sketching, there's quite a few different tools that we can use, and they do a variety of different things that we might want. So I thought I'd have a quick run through and use some of the more unique ones, some of the more interesting ones that help us start to create shapes that are a bit more away from just basic squares and things like that. So let's have a look at some of these tools. Now, if you're brand new to SolidWorks, this is going to be absolutely fantastic for you in terms of understanding some of the sketch tools. If you've been using SolidWorks for quite a while, unfortunately this might not be as interesting, but please have a look, see if there's anything you can pick up from these techniques and that you might use. So first of all, let's start by creating a basic shape. Now, when we're starting sketching, we always start from our planes over here. So I'm going to start on the front plane, and I'm going to come up to my sketch icon up here and click sketch. Now I'm going to create a shape on here. So let's start with a corner rectangle. So I'm going to start from this corner and create a shape like so. I'll just put some sort of size to this. So we've got a scale. Let's go 100 by 150. Then we've got a rectangle in there. Okay, so we've got some sizes and shapes to this. Now, the first thing we might want to do is look at how we can manipulate shapes. So we often, when we're sketching, just create a basic outline and then we manipulate that outline to create the shape that we want. So, for instance, with this, I might want to round these or fillet these corners off. So if I come to my sketch tools here, this center section here of all my sketch tools allows me to create different shapes or manipulate some of the shapes. Now in this case here, I'm going to create a fillet around the outside corner. So what I would do is I come down to this bottom icon and use the sketch fillet tool. Using that, I can now click on any edge and edit the shape of the corner like so. Okay. If I hover over it, it'll give me a preview in orange. And I can change the size to whatever size I want. So let's go up to 50 there. And if I click on that, I'll hover over that corner again, you'll see the dramatic change in size of that radius. So I'm just going to click on that corner and I'll get the edge in there. Now I can go straight away to the option here of dimensioning each fillet. So if I click that and tick, it will dimension the fillet for me automatically. If I don't have that on, then it won't dimension it for me. Okay, then have to dimension it myself. Just a little way of speeding things up as we're going. Now that's nice for a little radius on there. Now we can also use another tool in that section as well. And that tool is the chamfer tool. So looking at the chamfer tool, now when I'm chamfering here, I can chamfer an edge again, and I can do it by angle and distance. So if I click on that, angle and distance, so I put in the distance I want to go and the angle I want it to be at, or I can do it by distance and distance. And if I've got it set as equal distance, I just need to type 1 in. And if I don't have that set, I can set the 2 different distances in there. So let's create a chamfer, and we'll put one on this corner here. And I'm going to change the distances. Now I've clicked there, it's going to come up automatically with a chamfer in that section. Now if I change the distances, that's not going to do anything to this because I've already clicked on it. But what I can do is undo and it'll reset that. Okay, so if I don't like what I've done, I can undo it, or if I click on it, I can change the dimensions here and it'll allow me to also do it. But if I undo, I'm going to change one of these to 30. Let's go, in fact, let's make it a bit bigger. Let's go to 60, and I'm going to do the other one at 20. Okay, and again, I'm going to click this corner, and I will get that shape. Now, if I didn't like the fact that it was 60 across the top and 20 down the bottom, I can undo that and just change them over. Like so. And again, just a quick click, and it might make it go down that side instead. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So you can see now just straight away from that rectangle that we created at the start, I've already started to get a bit of a difference in terms of the shape. Okay. Now on here, I've got other tools that I can use. So for instance, I'm going to use my slot tool. I'm going to create a slot in this. So drawing a slot, I'm going to draw it in the bottom section here. So across the bottom there. So that gives me the distance I drag it out, gives me the center or center distance to the slot, and then it allows me to pull it out to get the radius. Now I'm going to put that in here, and I'm going to set some sizes to this. So from this outside edge, I'm going to come to the center point here, and I'm going to go 75, with it being 150 long. I'm also going to set the distance from point to center point of them two circles, and I want them to be 50. Okay, and I'm going to make my diameter of my circle, let's say 10. So, okay, so that's giving me a bit more of a unique shape. However, with that, all I actually want to use to make this component shape is this upper section. So I've got a lot of extra drawings in here that I didn't want. So if we go to the trim tool here, we've got a few different options that we can use. So we've got a power trim, which is where we just slide a line through it and it gets rid of it. We've got corner trims where we can trim off to a corner. So if we've got lines that cross over. We've got trim away inside. So if we've got multiple lines that cross over inside a sketch, we can use that. My favorite is trim to closest though. So if we use trim to closest, what that allows me to do is just click on anything that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of that section of the line, that one, and that one as well. Okay, leaving me with that upper shape. Now, at the moment, it's saying that there are some entities that are underdefined because I've trimmed quite a bit away. So let's figure out what's underdefined. Is it that? Yeah, that there. So let's make that line there fit to horizontal. And I'm going to just connect these up vertically, like so. Like so. Okay, so it's still saying there's something a little bit underdefined. Let's have a look what it is. That line there, I just want to make that horizontal. And we should be starting to get somewhere now. Okay, so it's just pulling along there. So that point and that line, I'm just going to make them midpoint coincidence. So you can see there how if I grab it and drag it around, it shows me what's wrong. So if I just undo that last one, for instance, so you can see, if I grab this line here, or grab one of these circles here, I can move it around. I don't want to be able to move that around, and it's because if you look at the point that's still, the one there, it's because it's not attached to it. So I'm just going to click the point, click the line, holding Control, and it will allow me to create a relationship. So I'm just going to go midpoint, which defines the sketch. It's always important that we've got a fully defined sketch when we are modeling. Okay, so we've got that shape now. It's a little bit more complex. Finally, just another tool that I want to show you here is the Polygon tool. Okay, and I'm going to put Polygon in the middle of here. So I'm going to put a polygon in here in the center somewhere. Let's say about there. Okay, now I'm going to make that a relationship to the center of there, vertical, and also have a relationship to the center of there, horizontal, which will find it smack bang in the middle of that whole section. Now with this, I'm able to pull it, drag it to whatever size I want, just by a quick selection of a radius in the center. And if I delete that as well, I want to show you something else. When I'm doing the polygon, come to here, it gives me a few options as I get started. I can set the number of sizes. So if I want a 7-side, 8-side, 9-side, 10-side polygon, they're all there as options. I can also set, for instance, the distance in the sides or the angle of offset as well. So let's go 8. And I'm going to go again, I'm going to place that right in the center there, drag it out. Again, put in them relationships, like so. And I'm also going to make a relationship with that and that vertically as well. So just straightens it up. Put in a dimension. So I'm going to dimension up the circle on the inside. I'm going to say that is 40, like so. Okay. Right. So from there then, I've now got all of these shapes in place. There is one last tool that I want to show you, and that last tool is the offset tool here at the top. Okay, so the offset tool allows me to take a shape and reproduce that shape at a different size. So if I click on the offset tool and say I click on this outer sketch here, around the outside, and there. Okay, so I'm going to offset that by, say, 5. And that will give me a distance either outside or inside of the sketch. Now, if I zoom in, you'll see here, might be better this side here, if I move the mouse to one side of the line, the little arrow there moves to that side. If I move it to the other side, it moves to the other side. Whichever side of the line that I click is where my offset is going to go. So if I want this on the inside, click on the inside and it will move it 5 mil on the inside like so. I can do the same with the polygon in the center. So offset again, click the polygon. This time just off the one line it's picked up the whole shape. And this time I'm going to go 5 mil outside instead of inside, like so. And that just takes me through a few different shapes that I can create. Now, to add to that, I'm just going to put an extrude in just to show you the outline of these shapes. Now, because I've created lots of different shapes here all together, it's giving me the option to pick up multiple contours to extrude. So I can click that one there, and click that one there, and tick, and I've got that shape as a 3D sketch or 3D model from that sketch that I've created. Right, so hopefully you've taken something away from that. That's just an idea of using some of the different sketch tools that we've got here and how we can use them to create some more complex shapes just out of a basic rectangle, which is what we started with. Hope that's useful. Please, if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe. Give us a big thumbs up if you're liking the content, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. What I could do